They were the best.
He just knew how to speak to his girls to get the best out of them.
He wanted to win, and we all wanted to win.
He's done something that maybe no one else in college coaching has done.
What he's done for the game and what he's done for college tennis is just absolutely phenomenal.
My father was a tennis pro. He started teaching me. I was his ball boy. I learned how to string tennis rackets when I was 12 years old. My father gave lessons and I went off and played every day. And then he had the good fortune of finding a young lady from Long Beach, California by the name of Billie Jean Moffitt, who became Billie Jean King. She helped me a lot in my teaching career. Having your father in the house as a tennis pro was pretty cool.
Tennis was the family sport. Dad was the one who followed in Grandpa's footsteps, and ironically, here I am. It was just in our blood. It was what we did.
And then I finally went off to college and played tennis, and I was teaching during the summers. It was something that I realized that I did well.
I would say one thing about Dad is it was always about doing things the right way, and also the way he presented the game to you. It's one thing to know the game, it's another thing to communicate how to play it.
I realized very quickly that this was a way I could possibly make a living. Once I got out of college, I went for a pretty good teaching job at a club, and they threw out the question, "Are you a member of the USPTA?" And I said, "No, I'm not. I just got out of college." And after the interview, I happened to get the job. I said, I better look into this and get certified. After I left New Jersey, I went to St. Petersburg, and I happened to have a couple players from the state of Florida. They said, "Come on down to Florida. My dad will find a club for you."
His players will do anything for him because he was good at establishing that relationship.
The girl in St. Petersburg, Betsy Dagelson, found this little club, and I thought, this is exactly what I'm looking for. It's my own private tennis academy, so to speak. Lily Faroud, who was my protege since she was 10 years old, she's the one who showed up at my camp one August and said, the job at Stanford is open. My wife, of course, says, "Why don't you apply for that job?" I sort of move at glacier speed, and my wife is already filling out applications. You've got to go to California.
It was a little different. It wasn't Dad the club pro anymore. Now he's a college tennis coach.
I came to Stanford in 1979. I was pretty ambitious. I didn't come here to lose. And I looked at Dick and I saw that he had 4 championships already, and I thought, that's pretty cool. I've got a goal. But one of the challenges was just getting all this done without a whole lot of support and no coaching staff. It was just me. There was no assistant coach.
My mom was really his assistant coach.
She provided the sort of family atmosphere, and she held my hand a lot, so that was good.
Dad basically had to sort of do his recruiting and get his players in.
I didn't even have all the scholarships I was supposed to have at that point.
He had some good players there, but they weren't quite ready to reach that next level.
And we slowly got a few more scholarships and got fully funded.
The program just began to grow at that point.
It was the heyday when Frank was coaching there.
My goals were to have great teams, but also have great players and great people.
Going against Stanford and Frank was not very successful. I think I was probably about 0-42.
While I was at UCLA, Stanford won every year. They were dominating.
Their teams were always well prepared and knew what they were doing and were on a mission.
What Frank did is he created this incredible legacy where when you come to Stanford and you play on the team, not only do you want to win a national championship, you believe that you can accomplish it.
Before I got here, Ann Gould won a national championship. And then I won 10 out of 21 years.
In the toughest conference in the country, his team won 510 team matches and only lost 50, which is unbelievable.
Lily and I were trained by him. You will never find a program like this, where 2 people have come from the same coach from day one.
And then Lily won the next 2 years that I left, skipped a year, and she's won 10. So of the 38 NCAA championships that have been played in women's tennis, Stanford has won 20.
He's 2-time coach of the decade. It's good enough to be coach of the decade once, but twice.
We've won more than all the other schools combined. To do that for a 5-year period, that's called a dynasty. To do that for a 10-year period, that's a miracle. To do it for 20 years, it's just unheard of.
I am the coach I am today partly because of coaching against him and his teams.
He's been such an important figure in my life, and he's the only person who ever gave me a job.
People will come up to me and say, boy, big shoes to fill. It wasn't so much about filling the shoes coaching-wise, but really just the guy he was, the man he was, the father he was. Yeah, those things.
Congratulations, Frank, on the USPTA Hall of Fame induction.
Frank, congratulations.
Frank, congratulations to your USPTA Hall of Fame induction.
Pops, congratulations. You are truly the best of the best in every way. What an amazing honor of being inducted into the USPTA Hall of Fame.